I want my blanket back.
That's dope.
Weighted blankets are pretty sick. He was ironically, yeah, no, weighted blankets. No, weighted blankets are super dope, dude. I love weighted blankets. They're just like, they're really expensive because they cost a lot of money to ship because they're just like heavy. Like, here, let's try to like find some weighted blankets for sale. Yeah, look at this shit, dude. Like, what, $190, dude? What? $270? What's up, Ramton?
Good.
Noise is telling us he misses his weighted blankets.
Weighted blanket? Man, they're good.
Aren't they good? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's great because if it just feels really good, but then like you can't move around. It's just like,
yeah, it's kind of like restraining.
I move around in the middle of the night, so it does it feels great falling asleep with it.
Yeah.
But then I like wake up in the middle because I'm like, I feel like I have to like move around with like a whole person.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
that's the appeal of them, though. It feels like you're being held, right? You're being like touched by something, but in this case, it's a blanket. Spicy's like, why are they so expensive? I told you, Spicy, it's because they're heavy. It's because in order to ship one of these things, it's very expensive. Because anytime you ship things, it's by weight, usually. I mean, at some point, dimensions start making a difference, but it's usually by weight. Let me fix this. Spicy said, machines exist? What do you mean by machines exist? What do you mean machines exist? Yeah, machines exist to transport these things, but they cost money. What is the benefit of a weighted blanket? Yeah, reduces stress, produces calm. Yeah, because you're literally being like held down by something. Ramton, tell Gold what you told me last night. Oh, Ramton, what'd you tell Noise last night?
What was that?
Noise says, tell me what you told him last night.
Oh. Essentially, here's the thing. So, like, I think Noise was feeling a little bit down.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, like, I don't know if, like, almost like he doesn't know, like, how to, like, take the next step, like,
okay,
for, like, future or something, right?
Sure.
And so, like, one of the questions that he was asked, he was like, oh, like, why are you the way you are, or something in those lines, right?
Dude, I don't even know the answer.
Exactly, that's what I said. I was like, it's a really hard question to answer for most people.
Yeah.
Regardless of where you are.
I just am. I am, therefore I am, dude.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, like, one thing you can do is, like, think about where you want to be. And then he was like, well, I don't know where I want to be either. And then I was like, and then when we're talking about it came up, there's this thing called an analytic continuation.
Okay.
Right, in math, where, like, you kind of, if you want to find, like, a function that it's like, I guess you kind of know Taylor series, right?
Sure.
So, like, if it's like almost like Taylor series, like you want to expand about like a point.
Okay.
But then sometimes that point is not in your radius of convergence. Mm-hmm. So, like, you take a point, you find the radius of convergence. You take a further point, you do it again, and then you take a further point again. And then, like, the second point, let's say you're doing the expansion, was not in your radius of convergence originally.
Sure.
It's kind of like a trick of getting around it. And then so the analogy that I was like throwing, I was like, that's like life. Like, sometimes it's like, it's hard to even see 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to, like, take the first step that you can right now, as far as you can go. And once you do that, now you have a new radius of convergence. Now you can take the next further step.
Okay.
And then you do that, and eventually you end up in a place you could have not been in, like whatsoever, in the
Right.
first place. But it just takes it one step at a time. So you just have to do the best you can right now, and then once you're at a different place, you do the best you can then. But it was
And
just like I think he really liked the analogy because it was just off of some math thing, and I
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to kind of just do so. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things. Like, if you ever do therapy or when you talk to your friends or family or whatever, it's just they speak their own language. They don't try
yes,
to speak your language. And so
yes,
that I think the reason he liked it is because I was like, I'm gonna explain it to a way that makes sense to you the most. And so he
yeah.
really liked it.
That's super cool. I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're finding like analogies and stuff that work within their, I say like their quality world. It's like we all have
Mhm.
our series of things that like we believe are part of our world. And for
Yeah.
Rand, he likes basketball. That's why anytime I teach him stuff, I try to make basketball examples. And yeah, Noise is very, very, very math based. That's cool. I like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
Taylor expansions. That's cool. Spicy likes food. Yeah, so I'd have to probably explain things in terms of chicken biryani to you, Spicy. That's what I'd have to do. Cool, cool, cool. Where is Teacup? Where's Teacup? I feel bad for Teacup because Teacup's always like asking questions, but he asks them like kind of late, and then like when I try to help him with them, he's just over it. He's just tired. He's just like, I'm
Yeah.
fucking done with this. So if he gets online, I'll do one of his questions kind of soonish. Um, I don't know. It's all I'm have to deal with parenting so many people. All right, let's see. We got some questions in the screenshots. Ooh, we do. Yes, awesome. We got lots. I think we do. Oh, Bob did the. Oh wait, no. This is from like 3 days ago. Oh, we don't. Oh, okay. Or maybe Jamarcus has new things. No. We did this. We did this with Jamarcus as well. Oh, did no one post new questions today? I think if
Yeah,
I
not
took.
a lot of questions.
Oh, that's cool. I'm down with that. I've been teaching already for 4 hours. Like, I kind of need a break.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, maybe some like more fun, I guess, like
Yeah. Or what we should do? We
fun
should do.
questions.
Let's do Jamarcus's question with the flipping the coins. Where's that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Where is that? Well, we can soon sort some questions out. Yes, we definitely can. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me start the stream off. Okay. Welcome everyone to Office Hours. My name is Dr. Gold's Actual Education. Stream that helps you out with math homework, science homework, all types of fun stuff. Yeah, I know. What was it? I know Ethan needs help with Java. He asked me the other day. He said, "Dr. Gold, do you think I'm smart?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think you're very smart, man." Like, what? And he's like, "Oh
Who
well."
asked that?
Ethan did. Ethan asked if I thought he was smart, and I was like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course you're smart." Like, what?
What's Java? I can probably try.
Java's a coding language. Yeah, and
Yeah,
so he.
I know. I just finished reading some JVM specification. In fact, I kind of made it into contributor to a small
Oh wow.
implementation. So
Oh wow. You
yeah,
contributed to the body of knowledge, which is Java.
no, like to contribute to the code to a JVM implementation. So Java is a
Oh.
weird programming language. You compile it, but you kind of also interpret it.
Yes. Yes.
Like
Okay, remind me the difference between that.
already.
So compiling is like you run all the code beforehand, then it just executes, whereas interpreting
No,
is
that's called super compilation or
super
partial
compilation.
evaluation.
Okay.
Like compilation is just say I'm going to change this code into equivalent form, mostly more suitable for a machine to execute it. Like with C, you just change the code directly to like machine codes with operating systems specific
Okay.
formats. But then with Java, you change it to a bytecode, which are kind of like the machine code for a abstract machine called the JVM, Java Virtual Machine,
Okay.
which, and then there are JVMs implementation for different platforms,
Uh huh.
which supposedly are to interpret the bytecode in a equivalent way, but in reality it never does that. Like the original slogan is to write once, run it everywhere, but the reality is write once, debug everywhere.
Oh, I get it. Okay, sorry. Interpreter means that like a bunch of different types of machines can run it, right? Like you don't need you're not locked down to one architecture.
Yeah, think about Python. Python has interpreters. It doesn't
Yes.
have a traditional compiler, like ahead of time compiler. It only
Right.
like
It just
only
interprets it as it comes
interprets.
in, which makes it
Yeah.
like inefficient, right? It's not the most efficient coding language.
Well, there is the JIT compilation, which optimizes it for a bit, and then there are different kinds of optimization, like the partial evaluation, super compilation, and other software analysis techniques.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's really difficult, like designing a programming language and then designing a compiler or interpreter. It's extremely difficult.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can only imagine, dude. I remember like in my high school, some kid built his own operating system, quote unquote, as part of his science fair project, and I was like, wow, like that would take me a lot of time to do.
The
Hey.
trend right now with operating system is that you write this particular cool, air quote, cool language called Rust.
Rust. Okay, I think I've heard that. Wait, isn't that a game? Isn't Rust like a video game?
Yeah, it's a video game, but also a programming language with interesting designs, especially this thing called the zero overhead abstraction. I think
Okay.
that's what it is. So basically, you don't have to manage memories, but you also don't get dangling pointers, derivatives.
Yeah, all the
and
memory analysis
or
stuff.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, I found Jamarcus's question, by the way. I found it.
Okay, like the Java one, I can do it.
Yeah, let me see when Ethan comes on if he has like the Java stuff, and then I'll tag you in to help him out with it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Just wait till Wednesday.
Just wait till Wednesday. Yeah. All right, here we go. Rampton, did you I have an answer for this one. I wanted to see if you get the same answer that I do.
Oh yeah, okay. I forgot to even what it was. So I guess I'll have to look at it.
No, we can go through it. We can go through it. This is a good question. Yeah, Jamarcus asked this one. I think this was yeah. Mhm.
Well, the heads up and Ashley turns over 50 of the coins. Then Bethany turns over 60 of the coins. Finally,
Yeah.
like 70 of them. Now every coin has tails face up. How many coins were turned over three times? Also 100. Oh, okay. At first I was like, it's impossible to answer. I forgot they were all heads up at first. Okay.
Yeah, they're all heads up at first. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I think here's what I'll like. I guess my first thought is that, in order for if something have heads up, then it has to be turned an even number of times, right? So
correct.
If Ashley turns over 50 of the coins, now we have 50.
50 are heads and 50 are tails.
50 heads and 50 tails.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so then there is another 60 coins and then a 70 number of coins that get flipped again. So
I had to draw a picture for this one when I did it. I had to draw a picture.
Yeah, I want to see like whether like
if there's a mathematical way to do it.
No, I'm just doing it I guess mentally, right?
Yeah.
So out of those 50 that are remaining, either they have to be flipped twice.
I think I just did this.
Some of these need to be flipped once.
Yes.
So.
And then they want to know how many are flipped 3 times.
Now every coin. Oh no! So everything. At first I was like, it's almost impossible. But every coin has now tails face up. Ooh, okay. So
every coin, so you need every coin to have an odd number of flips.
Yeah. So every has an odd number of flips. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we have 50-50. Then
Yeah, I think I did it like this. I think I used this.
So-
This was for like flip number 1. So like
Yeah.
at the beginning, you turn over 50, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50 have to flip, right?
Yeah, so I think here's what it has to be. So on the last 70, here's my thoughts. Is that if there are 70 everything is left tails face up, then Camille has turned over all heads. This is also like thinking backwards. So I'll think over backwards.
Yeah. Oh, I
essentially.
see. I see. Yeah, you're going backwards.
Right.
Yeah, because if they're all tails,
Yeah. Then
yes,
all 70 of those should have been
should have been heads. Yeah.
and then the other 30 should have been tails. So I guess I'll work backwards. So then the step before that, it was 70, 30 heads to tails. And then the step before that, after 60, then it would have been 50-50. So
What do you mean after 60 it's 50-50? It's 50-50 after the 50.
yeah, and or I guess I'm moving backwards in time.
Oh, it's sorry. You're saying before the 60 it's 50-50.
Yeah, before
Yeah,
the 60.
I agree.
So if it's 50, it's 50-50, and then after the 60 flips, it has to be 70-30. That's pretty much where we're at.
Yes.
So then it makes it so that
But some of those 70s that she's going to flip have been flipped once, and some of them have been flipped 3 times. Or
yeah,
twice. Yeah, right.
yeah. But I think it's all in the 60 that kind of makes sense. Because the 30 that are left over,
Mm-hmm.
they are flipped only once. So we know 30 of those, or at least 30, are flipped over once only. Because on the last 70 flip, then everything ends up being tails up. So it means 30 of it was already tails, right?
Yes.
And there's 2 flips before that. So
yes.
I would say if there's 20, sorry, 70-30 heads to tails, and then 20 of those. One sec, sorry. I'm trying to. Maybe I'm doing this too mentally. Maybe I should write stuff down.
Jamarcus, did you ever get the
Maybe-
answer for this one? Do you have the answer for this one?
Okay, I'm gonna try to
I forget if Jamarcus has the answer. For this one.
write some stuff down.
Yeah, write some
Maybe
stuff.
it's just too much.
It's too much to do in your head, dude. Yeah, because there's 3 sets of flips.
Yeah. So going forward, it's not plugged in.
Jamarcus says it's 40.
It's 40. I think it makes sense, honestly. I just want to show it that it actually is 30. So, okay, so we have 100. So we have a 100 head. Then it goes to 50 head, 50 tail. And then at the end, we have 100 tail. And before that, so this was 50 flips here. And then there was a 70 flips here. So before this was 70 heads, 30 tails. Which means that after these 60 flips in here, we had 70 heads, 30 tails. Yeah, so Resident Evil flips over. Should have been. So yeah, and then I guess the step before this was 50-50 then? Makes sense. So 50 head, 50 tail. Then we have 60 flips. We end up with 70 heads, 30 tails.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, so then now we just have to figure out how many of these. So if there's
How much
60
is overlap there
flips,
is.
yeah, then that means that the math doesn't even add up, I feel like. If 20 of these tails are turned up, and then it would leave 40 of these. And then if it's 40 and 10, then it would be. What if it's 15 tails?
No, you don't have to do 15s. I think Jamarcus has the right answer. Which is, so originally you have to flip 50, right? So you're going to flip. I've like color coded it, right? So
Yeah.
and you need everything to have at least one dash or 3 dashes because you need an odd number of flips.
Yeah.
So the first round you flip the 50 here, right? And so that's the 5, okay. And then the second time around, right? You're gonna flip 40 of these, but then 20 of these, 20 that haven't been flipped yet.
40 of the tail and
20 that just haven't.
Oh, my math wasn't right. Yeah. So this is the one. Yeah, you're right. So
That haven't.
40 of the tails turn into 40 heads,
Yes.
which has, and then 20 of the heads turn into 20 tails.
Good.
Yeah, and then this is plus the remaining 30 heads.
Uh-huh.
And then this is plus the remaining remaining 10 tails. Yeah.
And then there's your 70-30.
30. That's why I said it was 30. Yeah, so it should be 40. That makes sense.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I had a
That's a pretty cool question.
brain fart.
No. This one is a. Yeah, this was a very good question. It like messed with my brain
Yeah.
too.
But I think I this like makes sense to me. It's like I actually track the results every time.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out how the 60 flips is taking place.
Yeah.
That you have 50-50 and then you have to end up with 70-30 again.
Yeah. These are super cool.
Yeah,
Is this
cool.
Is this? And Jamarcus is doing this in like 8th grade or something. I'm like, what? This is like, it's like confuses my head already. I think this is for like some sort of like math challenge Olympiad type class or something. Which I think he said starts again on Wednesday. Jamarcus, you said there's more complicated questions coming on Wednesday, right? I enjoy these. They're fun. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. That's a fun one. Let me see what new Kiss Killer. That's cool. I don't know if I've seen you around the Discord much, but welcome. Let's see, what's let me clear my clipboard in 1 sec. I want to see what. Okay. How would you solve recursive chances? I.e., if opened has 20% chest of containing A and 30% containing B and 50% chance of containing another chest with the same odds. Okay. What type what's this question?
I'm trying to figure out what the setup is, but I'm gonna just go. This is just Markov chain, I would say.
Oh, it's a Markov chain? Oh, I don't know what
It's
a
a
Markov
Markov
chain
chain.
is. Markov chain? Oh.
I think maybe there is a coding way of writing this, but you can do it on thing without coding.
Okay. How would you solve
So how would you solve recursive?
containing another chest with the same odds? Wait, why are we opening a chest?
I see what it is.
Okay.
Like we can think of this like video games, right?
Okay.
So you have a chest. So we can think of A and B as prizes.
Okay.
Right? So it has 3 outcomes. So 20% A, 30% B,
Mhm.
50% chest, and then this chest again goes like this.
Oh, okay.
20% A,
Okay.
30% B.
Oh, so like you don't get a
50%.
prize on the third one. You just get a chance to get another prize.
Yeah, you get another chest which you have to like, I guess, kind of open.
Oh, it's recursive. That's cool.
How would you solve recursive chance? Like, I don't
Slash
know what
you
it
put-
means to solve.
Maybe like an expectation value? Is that what we're looking for? Like an expectation value, Kiss Killer? Let's see what it says. Yeah, Slush, you posted in the right place. I got it. Oh, what is the chance of A? Okay, so what's like the overall chance of getting A? Overall probability, I guess.
Oh, chance of getting A. Okay, yeah. So I would say you can do this actually Markov chain the way of doing this.
Yeah, because the way I see this, right? This is basically 0.2, right? Plus 0.5 times 0.2, right? Because that's this chance plus then this chance. But then you also need to do this, right? Which is plus 0.5
Actually, yeah,
times 0.5 times 0.2, right? And this is where we start seeing a pattern here, Kiss Killer, right?
Yeah.
Where this is just you can write it
Actually,
out. Yeah.
I realized you don't need Markov chain. You're doing it so much. I was like,
It's just
make
a
it
summation,
really
right? It's just the summation
Yeah.
of 0.2 times 0.5 to the n.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, I see. And the 0.2 comes out. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kiss Killer, do you see that? Does that make sense? That's kind of cool.
Limit of n goes to infinity.
Which is that something we
So-
know? Does it tend to 2?
So this goes to. So
yeah,
what
we-
happens is that this is 0.2, and this is a geometric series. So it's 1 over 1 minus r. Where
Okay.
r
Yes.
is
Yes.
this.
Yes.
So this is 0.2 times 1 over 1 minus 1 half equals to 0.2 times 2, which is 0.4.
0.4. Yeah. Yeah. And it can't tend to 2, Kiss Killer, because again, your probability always has to be between 0 and 1. Like you can't have more than 100% chance of something happening. That's kind of cool. So yeah, it's 0.4.
Also,
then.
thanks for like honestly, sometimes I feel like this is it. Like I see something,
And you're like,
and I'm
oh, it's something
this is
big and
it.
complicated.
So here's the thing: you can do this with Markov chain, and it's actually not going to be that difficult. But it's just like it's not needed to do that because a Markov chain, essentially, what it does is like it's like a matrix, and each entry tells you the chance of going from one outcome to the other. Right.
Right. Okay.
Now, Markov, that one needs to be more convoluted for you to have to use it, right?
Mhm.
The only way to end up with A in here is if you go from a chest, which is why it's useless for us to even write a Markov chain. But if you went from B, you could also have gone to A, then you needed a Markov chain. But the only way to end up with A is from a chest, then there's just one path to A.
I see. Yeah, because these terminate. Yeah, these ones
and then
terminate.
this is just going to be like so many zeros in this matrix that it's not going to matter.
That would be advanced. Yeah. Well, this is cool because, this also like brings into a little bit of calculus. Kind of when I said it tends to 2. The geometric series tends to 2. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, this geometric series tends to 2, and then you multiply by 0.2. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is why, I mean, you guys learn this, I think, in pre-calc. You learn about algebraic series, geometric series, and whatnot. And this is why they're useful. It's like they do pop up in different situations in life, and it helps to be able to know what the limit of this is, like what it eventually goes to, is what we say. Yeah, that's a cool question, Kiss Killer. I like that one. What's up? Kiss Killer, what grade are you in that you're doing like classes like this? It's pretty cool. This club like setting is so exciting. Yeah, dude.
That's dope.
Yeah, we try to make it fun. You know, it's it's laid back, chill. You know, if you don't get something, ask. We'll figure it out. I don't know
Yeah,
everything.
I think I like these types of questions because, like, this is what Math Olympiad is, by the way. Like, there is always a clever way of answering, like, a question that you could arguably, like, if you ever learn more math, you'd be like, oh, there's, like, a really cool way of, like, using these formulas of, like, doing this question. And it is, but, like, you can always do it without that. You can do it with, like, a more tricky way of doing this.
There's always like a trick to it.
Yeah, you don't need to, like, honestly, Math Olympiad people don't barely, I would say, learn any more math than the rest of the people. They just get really good at problem solving.
They're really good at the tricks. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I'm being prepared for is the AMC 8. Ooh, what's the AMC 8? Is that like a big like a competition or something? This is pretty cool. I mean, I guess USA earned second place at the 64th Math Olympiad.
Have you seen the...
Wait, but all these people are Chinese, right? Yeah, this is always the joke, right? That they're like, America beats China at the Math Olympiad, but like, all their last names are Zhao, Wang, Shen, Lu, Lulu. I'm like, we basically just poached all the Chinese players.
Yeah. No, I saw like the top four.
Fight for you against those Communist Party.
Oh, I see. These people are not part of the Communist Party, at least, I guess. Okay, yeah. Well, here, AMCs. Okay, wait, I see AMC here. AMC is popping up somewhere. It's a Math Olympiad. I'm actually a uni student. We did computer science, but math isn't highlighted. We just skimmed through it. Oh, that's cool. So he quit university. He says, now I'm trying to learn self-learn math and programming. That's cool, man. Well, we are always here for self-learning. We got a lot of people in this Discord that just want to self-learn, and we support it 100%.
Yeah. I would say, who said that? Was it on Twitch?
It's in the office hours Discord, the stage chat. The stage chat. It's in the stage chat.
Okay. Kiss
Yeah.
Killer. Okay.
Kiss
yeah.
Killer. Kiss
Like,
Killer.
uni student, we did comp sci. Now I quit uni. I'm trying to. Oh, like did you drop out, or like you're just taking a break? And also, yeah, Kiss Killer. In case you need any help with math and stuff, feel free to throw that in the chat for like any other questions that you have, because I'm actually like trying to learn discrete math for like trees and graphs and stuff like that to teach that to people as well. So, you know, I pretty much know all of the math that needs to be done for computer science. And then, yeah, I'm also like trying to learn a little bit more coding, because
Yeah. We're lifelong learners.
You know coding?
What's up, Internal? How's it going, dude?
What's up?
What's up, Ramiro?
Who's talking? Who's talking?
Ramton was talking, and then we have a new person in the Discord. His name's Kiss Killer, who's self-teaching, I guess, math and computer programming, which is cool.
Yo, computer programming, 10 out of 10, bro. I'm right now digital
10 out of
media.
10.
I had it last year. This year, my only issue is the fucking teacher has something against me.
Why?
So
What's
that
wrong,
I'm
dude?
doing-
Why does the teacher not like you?
I'm not sure. And this first
Maybe
year I've had
bring her
issues-
some flautas, dude, or some like donuts or something. I don't know. Be nice,
Bruh.
bruh. Hi, Bob. Yeah. Oh, Ramiro, I was reading through your essay. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
How much of that did you actually write? Because it's very wordy, is what I would say. Like, there's a lot of adjectives to go through. It reads like someone took something and then just tried to put a gazillion really fancy adjectives on it, like words. Which
Most of it I wrote. A lot of it was recommended by some friends.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
Yeah,
Yes.
some of my friends would read it. They would just tell me add this, add that, add that. So I would add it.
Sure.
I would just sit around.
Yeah, I would say like the messaging between your personal statement is great. The messaging is great. But the language in which it's written, it almost looks like you're like trying too hard to use fancy adjectives. And someone who's
I'm just
reading,
trying to-
yeah, I know, but someone who's reading that for college admissions is gonna immediately start throwing up red flags and be like, this doesn't look like this kid wrote it, because they're gonna think that someone else was just trying to like put a bunch of like fancy words on it.
I wrote almost everything. All of it, I wrote it.
Okay.
Which is a lot of the words that I couldn't think of.
Yeah.
Like a lot of synonyms.
Synonyms. Yeah, exactly. Like you're using a I can tell. Like you're using a thesaurus to like find fancier words for things, but to an average type of reader, it comes off
So
as like way too complicated.
So if I couldn't find it on Google, if I couldn't find a good word on Google, I would ask a teacher.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what I would do.
So one thing
would,
I would say.
Yeah, what's up, Ranton? Yeah.
Is if you're ever using these personal statements, like a lot of the people are like, oh, don't use the thesaurus, don't use Google, don't use ChatGPT. I'll say do it, right? But here's how you can do it. So one thing is, if you give ChatGPT the right prompts, you can tell ChatGPT, hey, write it as if there's a high school student.
Yeah, at a
that
high
is
school
writing
level.
it, right?
Exactly.
At a high school level, or like a high school level with good vocabulary. And what you can do is you can like write like 1 or 2 paragraphs, let ChatGPT write it for you, and it feels like, oh, there are some parts of these that are really clever. I would have never thought of this, but I would say something like this. Then you can keep it. But if one part of it doesn't seem like even like comprehensible to you, then take that sentence, rewrite it yourself. So you can always kind of like, this is like, I did the same thing for like essays, for personal statements and everything. I pretty much would get some sort of like some sort of a script and then rewrite it in my own way. So do
Like
use
paraphrasing.
ChatGPT, synonyms or whatever, but make sure that you make it your own and you put in your own twist into it. The downside of using thesaurus is that there's a lot of words that the placement of that, like nobody would ever use that word in like
Exactly.
a sentence in that way, right? So
Yeah.
although it has the same meaning, it's not used in that way. So you have to be really careful with thesaurus. I would say use ChatGPT more than you would use a thesaurus, because at least ChatGPT you can.
It's based off of language models, and it's at least based off like what's commonly said. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if
I'll
you
go-
want
I'll
to,
go-
you can be like, oh, use like give it a sentence and be like, oh, this is a word that I want. Try to make this sentence so that this word fits into it. So like,
I think you
if
can give
have
it actually
those-
the whole essay. You can give it the whole essay sometimes, dude. Like what?
Yeah.
Here, let me. Ramiro, do you mind if I just?
ChatGPT
Do you mind if I show you? Like, I show you how to do this. Like, is it okay if people see your personal statement on the stream?
I know ChatGPT. I know
Okay.
where to go.
Okay.
The thing with ChatGPT, the reason I don't like using it is because I know I have a limit of how much good I write. So I'm
Sure.
always afraid that if I use, and this is what I tell all my friends who want to use ChatGPT, gonna use it, be careful, because you know in the limit on how good of academic writing you're at. So if you do too much, there are gonna be teachers who are gonna catch you for cheating. Because I've already seen at least 3 students caught using ChatGPT and got detention or suspended for cheating.
Yeah, yeah. So like, Ramiro, let me just go real quickly through things. So, for instance, here, when you say like my family found itself trapped in a labyrinth of uncertainty, this is like a very like, I wouldn't really say like a labyrinth of uncertainty. That implies like way too much, you know. Or amid the swirling storm of uncertainty, a glimmer of hope. It's very verbose, is what we say. Like again, I love the message. I love you're doing the right thing with a personal statement to talk about struggles and how you got through it and whatnot. But things like pandemic's relentless onslaught, these are it's too much. It's too wordy, is what it is. It's too much like embellishment.
All that's from this one specific friend. You know how we all got that one
Oh, I know.
specific
Yeah,
friend?
I know. We all got that one friend who's just going to be like, it's called being very verbose. So here's actually a cool thing. I can go to ChatGPT and say, rewrite this as if I have a high school level of writing. Okay, cool. And I'm going to paste it in, and it's just going to do it. And yeah, I can already see that it's so what it's doing is it's trimming down all like the unnecessarily complicated words. Like you can see just right at the beginning here, it says, my family faced a lot of uncertainty. That to me reads more authentically, Ramiro, than saying a labyrinth of uncertainty, because I don't know. It's just, that's a lot. So here, let me I'll just copy this for you. And then what we can do, Ramiro, is we can go through this and we can say, oh, let me take the parts I like and let me, leave the parts I don't like and whatnot. So this is pretty cool. I like this because weren't you also saying you were having problems with like getting it within the word limit, right? Your personal statement.
I should have just put it in ChatGPT and lowered it.
Yeah, well, this is what I did. I mean, this literally, I said just write this as if it was a high school person, and then like what we can do is that I can go like paragraph by paragraph with you and see, because you don't want to cut down too much of it. You want to still keep some of the nice words and whatnot, but just trying to the demanding path of rebuilding, glimmer of light, like this stuff where like let's trim it down a little bit just so it's more authentic, because you want the college admissions board people to believe this was you that wrote it, not like someone else. Yeah, I'll share that with you, Ramiro. I'll share that with you so you can see what it is. And then when are your apps due? When do you need your personal statement?
It was already due,
Uh-oh.
but I could fix it either way. This is just the first time. We're gonna redo it in
Okay.
like a month once we start sending applications.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm not saying when is your personal statement due. I'm saying, sorry, when are your college applications due? Like, when do you have to submit things to colleges?
To colleges, I think we're gonna start this month for next week or next
Okay.
month first week.
Okay, cool. All right, so let me get this to you this week so that you at least have, you know, a kind of more solid personal statement that you can put into your apps. And also the colleges will also have other essays you need to write. A lot of times it's of the form they'll be like, why are you choosing, for instance, Texas A&M, or why are you choosing this? And they're called like supplementary essays, and those are also good things to try to like hammer out. You know, like why? Obviously, for you want to go to A&M because they have a great ROTC program. You're a big fan of, you know, the camaraderie they have. A&M Aggies are like a huge thing. It's a very like close knit like family thing. You can relate it to your own family experiences. These are all great things you can write about to, you know, boost your chances of getting to college.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out, dude. But yes, good. You have a good core there. We just need to like refine it a little bit so it matches more with like who you are as a person, and so that your application looks cohesive. Otherwise, like things like stick out, and then again, there's red flags, and they're like, I don't know about this. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we'll do it. Here, let me help Teacup. Teacup, are you here? Teacup. Where's Teacup? I told you we'd do your question first, Teacup, because last time we did your question at like 9:30 at night, and I know you were really tired. Yeah. Okay.
I forgot.
I know you forgot because it was really late. Okay.
Oh yeah, I joined the robotics team at my school now.
Hell yeah, dude. I love robotics. Is it First Robotics, FRC?
I used to be in STEM club robotics in 7th grade with my brother.
That's
It's
dope.
like an actual like competitive team.
Yeah, is it First Robotics? Is it FRC?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Probably.
dude. Yeah, I did FRC when I was in high school.
I'm doing the manufacturing instead of the programming this time.
No, that's okay. Yeah, no, I did a lot of manufacturing too. This is First Robotics is what it is. It's a great program. You learn a lot about, you know, Ramiro, right? You learn about welding in this. We did a lot of welding for our robot as well. A lot of welding, a lot of electronics. There's some programming aspects to it too and whatnot. Yeah, it's cool. Everyone should do this.
Really cool. But in 7th grade, instead of like that advanced shit, we used to only use Legos.
Yeah, no,
and small
yeah. You do what's called like, I think it's called Vex Robotics. This is kind of a smaller one.
It's really cool. We used to have competitions with other schools. You know, I think we won first place once or twice until
dope,
the
dude.
teacher left.
Oh, the teacher left.
because she got pregnant.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Teachers leaving because they're getting pregnant. That's not good. Well,
Imagine.
pregnancy is great, but as long as it's planned. Yeah, Lego Mindstorms. This is the other great one. This is a good introduction.
Oh, I did that too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is a good introduction if you want to get into robotics and whatnot at like kind of a lower level. Also, I love Legos. Legos were like the best thing during my childhood. Yeah, 2 hours of freedom left. Then I have to suffer. ChatGPT can ooify. What's ooify? What is ooify? Like ooh woo 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 woo. Is that that's like some anime thing you guys talk about, right? Like ooh woo woo. That's what Jamarcus is saying. What is this? Ooh wooify. Oh, okay. This is all the
Yeah, it's just all the anime stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super into this, but that's cool. I know about
Yeah.
this.
There was so Waterloo actually.
Yeah, Waterloo. Yeah.
University of Waterloo.
Mhm.
We had the or I guess they had, maybe I shouldn't say we, but I don't know. They had the biggest Reddit out of any university in North America.
Waterloo does.
Yeah, and then now I think that it's like some other university in the US now, but like I think they're still like one of the top, like probably 3 most engagement or like the most
The highest number of traffic or
users
most-
something.
Yeah, most traffic.
Some guy posted, and so like there's core programs.
University of Waterloo, like this one.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. Yeah, 92,000. Yeah. Okay.
And so there was a guy that there's the co-op programs that you essentially work somewhere for like 4 months or like 8 months.
Okay.
And he posted like, oh, I got a job in this like in this like place, and I was wondering if anyone has any like tips or anything, something like that, right? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then like I check it once in a while, and then the first comment was like, dude, what's your history? And so his history was a lot of graphic, I would say, cartoon
Oh,
stuff,
yeah. Because you can always click on a user and you can see like what they've been commenting in other Reddits. Yeah.
And a lot of people were just roasting him, like, dude, are you using the same account you would look at these stuff?
Yes, sure.
And he got his offer retracted because of
Oh no!
because the employer saw
all the stuff.
Reddit is not small, right? Like he
Yeah,
saw it and he got his offer retracted. And I was like, sometimes you just gotta use different.
Yeah, use a
accounts.
different account. Yeah.
You want to do whatever you do.
I kind of always say though, bro, like if I were to get, offer retracted, whatever, canceled, whatever, just because of like some shit I did on the internet, I don't want to fucking work for you. Like screw that.
That makes sense, but that one was also kind of a little.
I mean, if it's a little graphic and he's talking about like furries and dogs and stuff, like maybe like chill on that,
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like a lot of people would not come into your house and be like, well, what are you doing? But if you put it out in the open,
like I don't mean to kink shame, but like don't do that. Like
I just think you shouldn't be using that account. Like if somebody dug around and found like you have a name.
Yeah.
You have an account with like a weird name somewhere hidden, and then it's
you're
like you had a vendetta against me.
Exactly.
Than posting yourself.
Yeah, this is just public. I get it. Kiss Killer says, I have a year before I'm officially a dropout. Yeah, that's okay. Take a year maybe to like figure out what you want to do. University is, I mean, depending on like what program you're in and what major, you should finish it. Degrees are nice. They get you places.
They got in you.
What's up, Ramiro?
Where they got in you? Give yourself as an example.
I am, yeah. I didn't drop out. I had actually a friend in my grad school who, because you have to send them a letter of like, I intend to take a break, and then he's like, no, dude, I just quit. It's like, no, but they won't let you. They make you take a year off, and then you're allowed to like quit. Yeah, that's okay. Take breaks when you need them. Okay, here, let's try to do this one. Teacup, do you remember we were doing this question? I know it was kind of late at night, right? Yeah. Hello, Teacup. How's it going? Yeah. Okay, so in order to do this question, this is a limit, right? And so what we would do, right, is just plug in infinity for t and just see what happens, right? Yeah. That's the first way we start this, right? And do you remember, right, this would be pi 3 to the infinity plus 1 over 4 minus 3 to the infinity plus 1. Okay. And then what would that be? Like, let's try to simplify some things.
I can't see.
You can't?
Screen.
Oh, you can't see the screen? Oh, yeah. Come look at the screen, dude.
Where,
Thanks, OP. Yeah, I'll check your DMs.
where,
Appreciate it.
this, can you just say what you said? Because I can't. My screen is.
You can't see this? Oh, okay. All right. Basically, when we have a limit, the first thing we can do is we can plug in infinity.
Yeah, we
plug in the number for what the value is, right? So in this case, I'm just going to plug in infinity for t. Right?
So it would be pi 3 to the infinity plus 1 over 4 minus 3 to infinity plus 1.
Good. Okay, cool. And then this is where we want to like start simplifying some things, right? What is 3 to the infinity?
Infinity.
Infinity. Good. Right. So this just becomes infinity. Cool. What's pi times infinity?
Pi times infinity. Sounds like infinity.
It's also infinity. Yes, good. Good. This is infinity. And then what's infinity plus 1?
Oh, obviously it's infinity.
Awesome. Nice. Cool, yeah. Kiss Killer, what country are you from, dude? Tell us. Okay, cool. Same thing here, right? Infinity plus 1 is just infinity. 3 to the infinity is just infinity. And then 4 minus infinity is just minus infinity, right? So what's infinity over minus infinity?
Infinity over minus infinity.
Yes.
At negative infinity.
Yeah, it's good. It's negative infinity. We don't know which infinity is bigger, but we know it's. Actually, I think it's technically undefined. It's negative something. It depends on things. It is undefined. You're right. Yeah, sorry, it is undefined. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, cool. Undefined. We don't know, right? Oh, he's from Algeria. Wow, that's cool. I don't think we've ever had a student from Algeria on the stream. That's dope. Where the fuck is Algeria? One sec. I want to see what that is. Is that in Africa?
Algeria, yeah. It's northern Africa.
Oh, wow. Next to Tunisia. This is very cool. Yeah, I've never been to Africa, actually. It's the one continent I haven't been to. I've been to Africa. Cool. All right. Okay. So it's undefined. Yes. So when that happens, Teacup, that means we need to do something more, right? We need to do more algebra, right? To make things... Oh, I haven't been to Australia either. You're right. Forgot about that one. I feel like I have been to Australia because I've partied so much with Australians. But yeah, I haven't been to actually Australia. All right. So usually when we have these types of questions, what we try to do is we try to divide the top and bottom by like I say like the highest power of x. So you try to factor something out and then see if things will cancel algebraically. Here this like 3 to the t it's problematic, right? The 3 to the t like causes me some problems. So I probably want to try to pull a 3 to the t out of both things here. Before I do that though, this 3 to the t plus 1 looks kind of weird. I would like to rewrite this as something in terms of like 3 to the t. Do you know how to rewrite this as something nicer?
What was it? 3 to the...
3 to the t plus 1.
3 to the t plus 1?
Yeah.
3... 1. No.
Yeah, Kisskiller got it.
No.
Jamarcus says, don't go to Australia. Why shouldn't I go to Australia?
Is it... I don't know.
Okay. When I have a to the b plus c, this is the same thing as a to the b times a to the c. Australia bad. Okay.
What did you of Australia?
Yeah, what's wrong with Australia? I mean, besides that, it's a country like founded by like debtors and criminals, and like has the weirdest animals on the world. Yeah.
You're forgetting that Australia is technically a continent.
Yes, a continent and a country. Yeah.
Go to New Zealand, not Australia.
Yeah, New Zealand looks cool with the hobbits. All right.
Go to New Zealand.
Do you see this? Do you understand this rule? Do you understand if I have a to the like something plus something that it's them multiplied to each other? I think I was explaining this to you last time.
So it would be 3 to the t plus 3 to the 1
times 3 to the 1. Yeah. It's multiplied. So anytime you see the exponents being added to each other, you write them separately and you multiply the two together is what you do. And here, I can show you why that is. Let's say we have x to the 2 plus 3, okay? Which you know, right, is just x to the 5, right? Another way to write this, right, would be as x squared times x to the 3rd, okay? Remember when if we have like exponents being added, you can write them separately with separate exponents but multiplying. And how I like to look at this is like x squared is the same thing as x times x, and then x to the 3rd, right? That's going to be x times x times x. So when I multiply these all together, how many x's do I have? They speak the British accent. Creepy things, yeah, Australia. Creepy, yeah.
So you have 5x, I believe.
You have 5 x's, right? So this is the same thing as x to the 5th, right? Because I have x times itself 5 times, right? That's where this all comes from. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is this. Okay, so let's rewrite some things. So this is pi times 3 to the t plus 1 all over 4 minus, and instead of 3 to the t plus 1, I'm going to write this as 3 times 3 to the t. Okay? You can always switch the orders of things that are multiplying. All right? Next step is I want to kind of get rid of this 3 to the t. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3 to the t. Okay? This is a common trick you do with limits and especially when they're in fractions and stuff. Just try to like pull that thing out of both. And the way to pull it out is to divide by it. And the same thing as dividing is multiplying by the inverse. So we say like multiply by 1 over 3 over t. Multiply by 1 over 3 over t. This is always okay as long as you do the same thing to the top as you do to the bottom. You can do whatever you want, you know, as long as it's the same. Equal, whatever, equal math stuff. So, let's multiply this through. I end up getting pi times 3 to the t over 3 to the t, right? Plus 1 over 3 to the t. And then I have all of this being now divided by 4. 4 divided by 3 to the t. Minus 3 times 3 to the t. All over 3 to the t. Okay. Do you see that?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Let's try to simplify some things. How can I simplify this teacup? What happens here?
I still cannot see the screen. Can you say what it is?
Okay. Are you following along at least? Are you writing this down somewhere? Yeah.
I have it on a piece of paper.
Okay. So I multiplied everything by 1 over 3 to the t. So
Yeah, I got that.
okay, good. So I have pi times 3 to the t over 3 to the t. How do I simplify
Got it.
this?
Pi over. Well, let's get off 3 to the t. And then we just have pi plus 1 over
Good.
3 to the t.
Very good. Yes, very good. Yeah, thanks, Kiss Killer. Yeah, it cancels, right? Yeah, good. And this one cancels too. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. Great. Good job, guys. Yeah. Good, good. Okay, so now I have pi plus 1 over 3 to the t.
Over 4 over 3 to the t minus 3.
Perfect, dude. Okay. This is nicer because now what I'm going to do is I'm...
Plug it in infinity.
Yes, plug in infinity. Good. I'm going to take the limit as t goes to infinity. So now I can plug it in, right? So now I get pi plus 1 over 3 to the infinity over 4 over 3 to the infinity minus 3, right? What happens to these 3 over infinities? Oh, Jamarcus, the time money equals women one. Dude, I know that joke. I've seen that one so many times. Okay, what happens with this 1 over 3 to the infinity? What does it become?
3 to the infinity. So we have 4 over infinity. Isn't that just infinity?
No, no, no. What's anything divided by infinity?
Anything divided by infinity to 1, 0,
No.
negative 1.
It's 0. Think about it.
0 at 1 point.
Yes, yeah. Well, think about it. Like
So
3 over
minus
10
3.
is 0.3, right? 3 over 100, that's 0.03. And then 3 divided by 1,000, right? That's 0.003. You should start seeing a trend here, right? As I start dividing by bigger and bigger numbers, my number gets smaller and smaller. So if I end up dividing by the biggest number known to man, which is infinity, I'm going to get the smallest number known to man, which is 0. So that's why this goes to 0.
We have 0 minus 3, which should just be negative 3.
Good. So what's the final answer?
T is...
Not T.
I think it's closer to... No.
Yeah, as t approaches
I
infinity,
think it is 3.
it's negative pi over 3. See, the pi,
Right,
the pi still lived, and there's a minus 3 here.
I forgot the
Don't
pi.
forget the pi, dude. I'm always hungry for pie. Don't forget the pie.
3.141596729.
Do you know all the numbers to pi? That's pretty cool.
I know some of them.
Pi over 3 is 60 degrees. You are right, Kiss Killer. Yeah, you know your
I'm
trick, dude.
gonna go through it, see if I got it correct.
Tangent of pi over 3? What is that? Off to adjacent.
Yeah. What is it? It is...
Tangent of pi over 3 is square root of 3.
3.141592653.
Nice.
58979.
It's a lot of numbers. All right, good.
Then,
Nice
after
job.
that, it's 846. That's as far as I got on the Google Pi game.
My friend at Burning Man, he had a funny shirt. He said, "My password is the last 8 digits of pi."
Oh shit.
That's such a troll. Such a troll, dude. What? That's pretty funny.
Let me just... I don't
Dun,
think
dun,
I think I
dun.
figured out his password.
Slushy, it's your turn.
His password is obviously ...
Slushy, you want to hop on the Discord channel just because it's faster for me to help you? I mean, I can help you over Twitch, but there's like a 5-second delay. It sucks. It's okay if you're watching, but like if I'm trying to teach you, it's easier to do it in Discord. You can get on the VC too if you got a mic. That's the best thing. Like, you know, text is cool, but I can really tell if you're understanding something and, you know, convey information to you better if there's voice. But you don't have to talk on voice. Let's see. Yeah. Slushy, do you see the Discord channel? I'll show you where it is. It's right down here. Jamarcus is typing in it right now. Yeah, there you are, Slushy. Yeah, cool. Sick. You figured it out. Okay. Yeah, do you see the chat on the right, Slushy? If you want to join the VC, here, I'll invite you. If you want, if you can speak on the stage if you want to, Slush. Otherwise, there's a chat there on the right that should be easier to see things. Okay, cool. Hi, Slushy. Yeah, you're good. You're good. It's just, yeah, it's gonna be quicker. Okay. All right. This looks like physics, right? A ball is thrown straight upwards, returns to its original level in 2.5 seconds. A second ball is thrown at an angle of 40 degrees above the horizontal. What is the initial speed of the second ball if it also returns to the original level in 2.5 seconds? Oh, that's pretty cool. AP Physics. Yeah, I get you, dude. I know. Okay. This is a kinematics question, okay? Where... yeah, anytime you have, like, balls and whatever being, like, thrown in the air and, like, they're up for a certain amount of time, velocity, whatever, like, these are all kinematics questions, which you want to use the kinematics equations. Let me see if I got an image of it. It's always someone who has, like, a nice... yeah, this is... bingo, bango. Love it. There you are. Let's paste that in. There you go. Cool. Relevant motion is definitely happening in the y-axis, Kiss Killer. You are correct. Okay. All right. So I think the first thing we want to figure out, right, is what velocity was this thing getting thrown up at straight up in the air in order for it to come down in 2.5 seconds, right? And so I need something that is involving, like, time, right? And probably initial position and final position, right? Because what is the initial position and the final position of this ball? What do we know that is? If we're throwing it from the ground and then it comes back down and hits the ground. 0. Exactly. Good. Okay. So I want something with position. I want something with time. So this doesn't have position or time, so I don't want that one. This doesn't have time in it. I don't want that one either. This one doesn't have position. Well, I guess it does have position. But it has velocities. I don't really care about the initial and final velocity. I mean, technically I know what they are, but don't worry about it. No, let's not use this one. And then I don't know why this is different than this. It's the same thing. I guess they're just assuming it's gravity or whatever. Oh, wait, that's delta x is v final minus 1/2 at squared. Is that, oh, I don't, actually, I've never seen this one, actually. That's a cool one. Oh, okay, but we don't need it. Okay, Slushy, let's use this one. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that one. It's cool. This one probably derives from, like, combining these two together, but yeah. So yeah, so I'm gonna use this one, which says that the change in position is equal to the initial velocity times time plus 1/2 times the acceleration times time squared. The change in position, we know that's gonna be 0, right? So delta x, this is equal to x final minus x initial, but both of these are 0, right? It starts at 0, it ends at 0, so that's gonna be 0. So I'm gonna say 0 is equal to vi times the time, which I know is 2.5 seconds. Okay. And then plus 1/2 at squared, right? So that's plus 1/2. This sometimes confuses people. What's the acceleration of something that's, like, just flying in the air? They call this free fall, is what we call this. Something in free fall. You got told to use 10? No. Don't, it's too funny. Okay. Yeah, 9.8 is nicer. It's negative 9.8 technically. Yeah, negative 9. Yeah. If they want you to use 10, it's okay. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. Negative 10 is what you want to do. Just know that, like, some people in physics will get really mad about doing this. Like, they'll be like, use at least 9.8. Or 9.81's, like, a little excessive. I think 9.8's fine, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's okay. Your teacher said 10. Yeah, what, Ram?
Yeah, like, I remember people used 10 before, and it's like 9.8 just makes it like a huge difference.
It does. It's such a massive difference. Okay, whatever. But we'll use 10. She said they used 10 on the AP exam. Is that right? Oh, man.
AP. We need to cancel the AP.
We need to cancel the AP exam, dude. Next generation is too soft, dude. Too soft. Too soft. Okay. Good. And then this is t squared. All right. So all I have to do here now is just solve for VI, which isn't too bad. So the cool thing is that I'm going to show you some math tricks here, Slush. Is that there's already a 2.5 and a 2.5 squared. So I can get rid of this one and get rid of this. Because I'm just dividing. I'm just pulling 2.5 out. So now this is... Yeah, see? Yeah, you'll see this. VI. I'm going to show you can do this like without a calculator. 5 times 2.5, right? This is the advantage of using 10, is that everything just becomes really easy for the math. Because this is going to end up becoming VI is equal to 12.5 meters per second. Yeah, fancy, right? Not too hard. Ice King's like a big brain.
That's dope.
Okay, cool. So we know the velocity that we would need to throw this thing straight up in order for it to come down in 2.5 seconds. But now they're asking us, okay, I'm going to shoot this thing at a 40-degree angle, right, to the horizontal. And I want to know what the initial speed of it is if I also needed to fall back in 2.5 seconds, all right? This is, the cool thing about kinematics is you look at everything independently just in terms of, like, one direction. Like, I'm only going to look at things in terms of X, or I'm only going to look at things in terms of Y. So, when I have, for instance, a ball, right, that is getting shot at some angle, like this, okay? The amount of time it takes for it to go from here to here is the same amount of time it would take for the ball to just go up and down like this, as long as the component of the velocities are the same. So what I mean by component of the velocities is that, so this velocity, right, is going at an angle, right, which is 40 degrees. And this is going to have a y component, we're going to call Vy, and it's going to have an x component, Vx. If this velocity is the same as just shooting it straight up, the ball will spend the same amount of time in the air. Does that make sense, Slushy? Why that is? Yeah, right. Because when I consider projectile motion and I want to look for the amount of time it spends in the air, I only care about this because Vy is the only thing that keeps it in the air. Vx just makes it go left, right. The only velocity that makes this thing go up and down in the air is Vy, so I can consider that just like independently. So, all I need to do, this isn't too bad now, is draw out like what my velocities would be. Here, let's do this. Let's do like this, right? Okay. We know this is 40 degrees. And I know that I need the y component. Yeah, you can ignore Vx. You don't even need it. Vx comes into handy if your teacher then asked you, for instance, how far does it travel? Like, what's the range of this? What you end up doing is you solve for the time in terms of y, like going up and down, and then you take that time and you multiply by Vx. So, right, so delta x in this case just ends up equaling Vx times the time. And that will tell you how far this thing travels. That's like the range equation type thing. Which, I never really wanted to memorize it. But, okay. So, I know that if I want this second ball to also spend the same amount of time in the air, I need its y component of the velocity to be the same as the y component from just throwing it straight up. So, this also needs to be 12.5. But what they're asking for is what is... They say the speed, so they really want the magnitude of this. They want to know what the total speed is per se, like not just the y component. Yeah. Okay. Do you know how we solve for this, Slush? This is where trig comes into play. Yeah. I know. We love trig. Sine. Yeah. Sine works. Yeah. Cool. So I can say, right? Yeah. Sine of 40 degrees is equal to the opposite. Right, which is 12.5 over the hypotenuse. Let's just call this thing like x for now. Okay. Exactly. Yep. So you get x is equal to 12.5 over the sine of 40 degrees, right? Which, at this point, yes, you do need, this point you need a calculator because sine of 40 isn't a nice number. So wait, let me make sure I'm in degree mode. I'm in degree mode. Okay, cool. So 12.5 divided by the sine of 40. Gold calculator is amazing. Yeah, thank you, dude. I made this myself. I made this skin myself. I just found like the default TI-84 skin and I made it gold. Yeah, cool. So this is just 19.45 meters per second. And you are done.
Nice.
Nice. This was so much help. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm glad. I'm glad I helped you out. Yeah. Wait, are you in AP Physics C or AP Physics 1? Slush. Unlike my teacher, no hate though. Oh, okay, cool. All right. So, Slush, I don't know if you know, but I've taught AP Physics 1 a lot. I think this will be like my 3rd year. Doing like review classes and stuff for it. So, I gotta remember where I put the instructions for this. One sec. I gotta think. AP Physics. Oh, you know where I put it? One sec. It's in the Discord. I put it in one of the old channels. It's an archive channel. Where did I put it? AP Physics 1. Here we go. Yes. And then where did I put it? One sec. That's the review course. Cool. Awesome. Okay, one sec. Let me paste this for you. All right, let me paste this in the Discord. Where did I put it?
What are you?
I'm giving him the AP Physics 1 review course. So here, there you go. There you go. I know that's a lot of stuff. But basically, so yeah, I put this in the Discord for you guys. But if you go here, this website called kudu.com, and you create an account, you can then join this course that I've created to help you out with AP Physics 1. Let me see if it wants to load. Yeah, just sign up for it. There we go. So AP Physics 1 review is what this is. And this has basically a bunch of review questions that'll help you like study for the exam. And then also we have these videos from this guy named Flipping Physics. He's a really cool guy. We partnered with him, and he's made these awesome review videos that go over different topics, as well as, if you click here on lecture notes, there are PDFs with basically the important equations, important concepts. You can download all of these. All of this is free. It's something I developed to kind of help out with AP Physics 1. Yeah, on God. Yeah, and go through my TikTok. Yeah. Is that how you found me, Slush? Did you find me on TikTok? I know people have been finding me on TikTok lately because school year started, and the algorithm just starts like throwing people at my TikTok. I think it's here. It's this one probably. I was on your FYP. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. This is my Look at this. Look at these notifications again. Like what's going on here, dude? All these people are following me. Yeah, it's because the school year is starting, and so now the algorithm is sending people to my videos. But yeah. These videos are meant to, just help you guys with quick concepts that are what I say are like commonly misunderstood, and I try to like explain them in 2 minutes or something. But yeah, you found my Discord, so you did the right thing, which is if you need more help, yeah, just come hang out in the Discord, and I teach for free 3 times a week, for like 2 hours. So, and it helps other people if, you ask questions that, I can show them stuff. Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. I will be here often. That's the goal. Yes. Let's see. Ice King says I'm my new Bible. Okay. What question did you have, Ice? Was it this one? Okay, it's with the here. I'm on a little like AP Physics streak. And then I'll. Where's Ethan? Ethan needs help with Java. Where are you, Ethan, dude? Ethan, my boy. Pasting. There we go. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, dude, what's with your teacher and like drawing boats and stuff? What? These art skills leave something to be needed. Okay. All right. It's scary. Yeah, I don't know. This looks a little phallic in nature. I don't know. Like, what's this? This is not a sailboat. Like, what? What? Okay. A ship is approaching a dock at 0.45 meters per second. Best part of the class, though. Yeah, I bet. A portion piece of landing equipment needs to be thrown to it before it can dock. The equipment is thrown at 15 meters per second at a 60-degree angle from above the horizontal from the top of a tower. Okay. For this equipment to land at the front of the ship, at what distance from the dock should the ship be when the equipment is thrown? This is actually cool. This is a very complicated question. There's a lot going on here. I kind of like it. Okay. Okay. Let's label some things first. Okay. So this is going, I'm going to say V. This is at 0.45 meters per second. The equipment is being thrown here, right? At what is this? 60 degrees. Anytime I see velocities and I see angles, break that into components like right away, because you're gonna need them. This is kind of like the rules. So I'm gonna convert that into a Vx and a Vy just right off the bat. So this will be, so if this is 15, this is 15 cosine of 60, which is gonna be 7.5. And then this is going to be 15 square root of 3 over 2. This is just trig stuff. You just kind of, you eventually remember. So 15 square root of 3 over 2. Oh, ugh, that looks ugly. Let's use a different color. There you go. These are very easy problems for you all. Very simple. Yeah, I never liked that when teachers would do that. My college professor used to always be like, it's fairly obvious that it becomes this. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not fairly obvious how you skipped like 19 steps and got to this answer. I don't get it. Or the worst is in textbooks when they'll say, we'll leave it to the reader to verify that. And I'm like, no. I paid for this book. You're supposed to show me how it works. I don't want to have to show how it works. Visualization is the best tool for teachers. I agree. And honestly, that's why I love teaching online here and whatnot, because I can do all those colors and stuff. I can paste things. I can, you know, if I want to draw like a little ball or something, be like, hey, look, the ball like goes this way. You know, like it's a lot easier to show stuff. Okay. All right. For the equipment to land in front of the ship, at what distance from the dock should the ship be when the equipment is thrown? This is interesting. Yeah, because there's a distance that this thing is going to be at when we throw it, and then as the ball is in the air, the ship is still kind of moving towards us, right? So I'm gonna define a new variable here, Ice King. I'm gonna call this, let's call this like I, for instance, which is gonna be the impact distance, like where I need it to hit. Okay. And then from that, I'll then be able to figure out how much more time I should like lead the boat on, right? Let's just figure out, for instance, if I shoot this thing 15 meters per second at 60 degrees, like how far away is it going to travel before it hits the ground here? And this is where we do need to use, you know, these lovely kinematics equations. Where'd they go? There they are. Cool. Okay. So in order to figure out where in terms of x this ball like ends up, I need to figure out how much time it's going to take for it to get to this height when it's shot from this height. All right? Because then once I have that time, once I have the time that this thing is in the air, I can then multiply that by the x velocity to then get the x distance that it's going to travel, which is going to be here to I. Again, also, if any of this doesn't make sense, Ice King, just like yell at me like in the chat. If you're like, wait, I don't get this. Like what? Like you skipped a step, or that doesn't make sense, because that's the best way for you to learn. I know when your teacher probably goes through things, she probably just like steamrolls through it and just like he says like, you know, just shut up, like learn. But that's not what we do here. Make sure you guys understand it completely. Okay. So I want to figure out the amount of time this thing is in the air. So I'm going to use this equation, right? Just how we did last time. Okay. So, but here's kind of the weird thing. So x final is going to be 0, but x initial is going to be 8.75. Because it's going to start at a height of 8.75 meters. And then I'm going to do the initial velocity, right, that's the y velocity. So that's 15 square root of 3 over 2 times t. And then minus, and then 1/2 times 9.8. Whoa, wait, are you guys still using 10? Ice King, are you still using 10, or can I use 9.8 with you? Yeah, use 10. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so then this is minus 1/2 times 10. So we're gonna shorten that real quick. Just say this is minus 5 t squared. I never got the 10 thing. Yeah, it's just 9.8. Just rounds up to 10. Like if you're super lazy. It's probably easier to grade, I guess. I mean, we're gonna have to use a calculator anyways because like this is an ugly number, and also this is a quadratic. Yeah. Oh, that's too funny. Okay. All right. So I need to solve this to figure out the time. This is a quadratic, guys, because you have time here with no exponent, and then you have time here with the squared. That's usually what a quadratic is. Couple ways to solve this. We could use the quadratic equation, which would suck because, like, I don't know. You can do it. It's just gonna take time, and you know, time is money. So I say
that's probably the best way of doing it.
Well,
this question.
I just want
like the numbers are nice.
Yeah, they're just ugly. So, but I'm gonna show you guys how to graph this one. Are you guys allowed to use graph? I think you're allowed to use a graphing calculator for AP Physics. Yeah, cool. All right, I'm gonna show you how you do this because it's a lot easier. So I'm just gonna put this equation in, like 8.75. Wait, we can graph. Yeah. What? I'll show you guys. Yeah, this is a cool little chart. People, like, they get this calculator and they don't realize, like, all the dope shit it can do, you know? I'm just like, guys, come on, what? Right here, let me get this out of the way. 15 times square root of 3 over 2, right? And then we're going to say times x. She's not teaching? Okay, well, hopefully, that's why I have this emulated TI-84 here, so you can see, like, what buttons I'm clicking. Because otherwise, you know, you don't really learn much. So good. This is the equation. So I just typed this equation in here, guys, but instead of t, I'm putting x. All right. And yeah, where'd it go? No, come back. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let me make sure I put that in right. Good. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace this, and then you should see this will be like the trajectory of the thing. Cool. You see how it like goes woo woo. I want to figure out where it hits 0, right? I'm trying to figure out where this thing will hit 0. So what you can do is you can go to second calc, and you can literally ask it to just find 0. You can just hit enter here. And then left bound means you need to tell it like the left modes, because you see how this hits 0 actually at 2 different points? It hits it at like a negative x value and a positive x value. But I only care about the positive one because I don't have a time machine. So left bound, I'm going to like move my arrow here until it's like slightly to the left of where this thing is. Okay. Hit enter. And then I'm going to move slightly to the right of where it is. I'm going to hit enter. Guess. You don't need to guess. And just hit enter. And there you go. And you see how it says 0 and it says 3.15? That's your answer. That's the solution here for t. So time is 3.15. Good. So that's how many seconds it's going to take for this thing to eventually hit the ground, okay? So let's figure out now, right, what distance that's going to be, right? Like how far away that's going to be, okay? From the what is it, the tower. The way to get that, right, is to take this time that this thing spends in the air and then multiply it by the velocity in the x direction. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that 3.15. I'm going to multiply it by the x velocity, which is 7.5, right? And so that gets me 23.625 meters, okay? What's up, Ethan? Good to see you, dude. 23.6. We're doing physics, Ethan. Doing physics.
Oh, this is kinematics. I know.
This is kinematics. Yeah, it is. It's actually this is a harder kinematics question, though, honestly.
Are these the same ones? I know of?
No, this is someone else. They found us on TikTok, and they're asking questions.
Alright.
Yeah. All right, so this is the distance that the boat will be at when the package hits, right? But I need to throw it before the boat like gets there, right? And so I need to know like how much when I need what do they want? Sorry, do they want when or the distance? Oh, they want the distance. Okay, cool. So they want this total distance that this thing is, okay? So what I know is that this thing travels at 0.45 meters per second, all right? And we want to know the distance when I throw it, right? So that happens 3.15 seconds before the thing hits the ground. So if I want to figure out how far this is, right, I'm going to take that 3.15 and I'm going to multiply it by this velocity, because that's going to tell me how far back this thing was right when I threw it. That might be a little bit complicated. Let me know if that makes sense. Like, so I throw it at, we would say like t equals 0, and then this thing hits the ground at 3.15 seconds, okay? And in that amount of time, right, that 3.15 seconds, this boat has been moving towards where the thing is going to hit it. And so I want to know how much distance it's covered in that 3.15 seconds. Because then whatever this distance is, if I add it to the distance from where the thing hits, that's the total distance that the boat needs to be when I first start throwing it. So if we do 3.15 times 7.5. Oh, we already did that. One sec. Oh, no. Sorry. Not times 7.5. Sorry. Times 0.45. I need the velocity of the boat. I want to know how far the boat traveled. So 3.15 times 0.45. No. 0.45. Come on. That's 1.42. Okay, 1.42 meters. All right. So now I'm going to add this, because that's the amount of distance that the boat is away from the impact point. I'm going to add that to the distance of the impact to get the total distance that the boat is like when I first start throwing it. So then it's going to be that plus the 23, and that's going to get you a final answer of 25 meters, and you are done. What's up, Ethan?
How's the stream going?
It's going great, dude. I mean, a little bit less viewers on Twitch, but more participation in the Discord, which I'm always here for the participation. I could give two fucks about the metrics. Does that make sense, Ice King? Yeah?
I really like these questions, by the way.
I do too.
Because you have to calculate, like, essentially, like, two things are moving at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember, like, even one of the questions that was actually a cool one that we had was there was a football player that was trying to throw the football to his teammate, and he could throw the ball with a certain speed.
Sure.
And you had to calculate, like, what degree did he have to throw it in order for his teammate to be able to catch it, right? So
but his teammates moving and he's moving. Yeah, this is one of the more complicated kinematics questions, I would actually say. I don't know if I've seen them this complicated. I understand it, but I don't think I can do it alone yet. Oh, the Matrix? Oh, no, Kiss Killer. I said about the metrics. Sorry. Yeah, the metrics. I was talking about my Twitch viewing metrics. Yes, Andrew Tate does talk about the Matrix a lot. Yeah, metrics. Yeah, metrics.
The word Matrix is getting thrown off.
It is, dude. Yeah. Having someone else say it, it's complicated, makes me feel so much better. Yeah, no, this is a complicated question. Again, I've taught physics for over a decade, and, like, this is on the more complicated side of kinematics. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a lot of time, Ramted. A lot of times students just, like, they feel dumb, and then when I say, like, no, your teacher's just a bitch and this is hard, and they're like, oh, okay, and then they feel better. Yeah. Teaching physics is at least top 3 best jobs. I mean, it's not the best paying job, no, but it's fulfilling. It should be. Yeah, it should be, but I don't know. Yes, Ethan, what's up, dude?
Is there any set time we could play chess?
Play chess. Not today. Not today. Let me see. I'm really busy these days, unfortunately, Ethan. I know.
And you said you were free.
I did say I was free, and then I realized I'm not. Like, yeah, I have a lot of things I have to do. Yeah, like paying rent. Like, I have to pay rent this month, and rent is scary.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, your rent is cheaper than mine. Then I
Yeah.
realized it's USD.
It's US dollars. Yeah, dude. Mine is, yeah, I think $2,000 US. It's not fucking cheap. It sucks. Yes, Ethan. I'll let you know when I can play chess. Okay. Who's X up? Tuhi? Tuhi? What's up, Tuhi? Tuhi's factoring some stuff. That's cool. Let's factor some stuff. Ethan, did you get me some Java questions?
Wait, we're just doing Java programming for now.
Okay, but you have a test tomorrow, right? And you said you need help with it, correct?
Yeah, it's like parts of a Java program and the 4 things that we are learning, like the 4 basic ones, like there is int, boolean, I think it's called,
Yeah.
string,
Yeah.
and there was one last one.
Swim? What the fuck
It
is
was
swim?
double, right? Those are the ones that we are mainly learning for now.
Okay. Do you have a test
Yeah, those
review?
Like,
Do you
are
ever-
you talking about like the sort of data types?
Yeah, I think he's talking about
That
structures.
we are.
That's what it's called.
That's it.
She said it's right, but I don't know if I
Talking
trust it. Yeah, post it. One sec. Office hours. Where's Tuhi? Tuhi! Where you at, Tuhi? I want to do your question. Where you at?
So I think there should be 5. Ethan, do you know the different ways of like talking about the numbers,
Isn't it?
or the
I don't
different
get it.
about
When?
the different ways of identifying what type? So these are called data types, right?
I know that.
Okay, yeah. So there's int. So what does int do?
It just verifies your whole number.
Yeah, so it's an integer. Yeah. There is float. Do you know what float does?
Okay, well, we don't know that. We don't know that.
You don't know that. Okay, that's okay. There is char or car, I guess.
I call it car
Okay,
or
well,
care.
Yeah, because it's a character.
Yeah, character.
I don't
It's,
know
it's
that.
like
I
the
don't
it's
know
like the
that.
GIF GIF argument, dude.
Yeah.
Is it
that's
GIF or is it
Well,
GIF?
see,
And then there's
the
boolean.
thing is,
Do you know how
yeah, I know
boolean works?
that.
Okay.
Declares if something is true or false.
Yes.
Exactly.
Good. Yeah, okay.
And then string, you turn something into like a word
Uh-huh.
like, or a expression.
An array of cars. String is an array of cars.
Alright.
Depends on what language you're using.
Alright.
Do you have a test tomorrow, Ethan, right? You said you have a test. And you said Java's confusing to you, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have a
Mhm.
test review for it? Did they give you at least
No,
like something like what the test will be over?
They only told me that. They told me it was like parts of a Java program.
Oh, okay. All good, T. Oh, all good, T. All good. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just trying to think of like the best way to try to help you with your test tomorrow, right? So usually when I work with students and they pay me tons of money to help them, I ask them to at least give me an outline of what's on the test. Even better case is if they have, for instance, like a practice test, like the teacher gives them an example of what the test would be. Or if there's some sort of like series of homeworks that you had to go through or quizzes before the test. These are all things that help me understand what level you need to know the subject to and how to get you to that level so you do well on a test. So if you just have like word of mouth, that's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to work with. There's got to be something written down somewhere, right?
Okay.
Okay. You have a test tomorrow, right? Did they send an email about your test going out tomorrow anywhere?
No. They didn't do anything.
They just told you in
it's-
person there's a test tomorrow?
They told all of us, so yes.
And did they tell you what was on the test?
They told us what was going to be on the test. I told you this many times.
Okay, but all you've told me is Java programming. You know, that doesn't tell me very
See,
much.
like parts of a Java programming and the 4 data types that we have learned. That's what
Okay. Okay. Parts of okay, and the 4 data types. All right. That's something, I guess. trying to think like what type of question I would ask if I was teaching a CS class, and I was just like,
Oh, I can ask like a few ones.
yeah, there we go. Yeah, here you ask a
I've
couple
seen
questions.
some like
Guys, look.
Yeah.
Guys, can I say something?
Yeah, you can say it. What's up?
I appreciate you two helping me, but I don't know if I can do it.
Oh, no worries.
No, we're gonna make sure you can do it, dude. What? No. What? I'm not gonna give up on you, Ethan.
Like, oh, I thought. Are you asking like whether you are like tired or?
Don't give up. Don't give up,
That's not
Ethan.
that's not even a word I want to use.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I know. You're overwhelmed. I can get it. You're like, you don't know what's going on, and I get it. I know what the feeling is, Ethan. Don't worry.
Wait, so where should I put it? Ethan is in Discord, right? Okay, so I'll put it in the office hours, like the chat that we have. So Ethan, tell me these two numbers or these two things that I'm putting, what data types they are.
Oh, where are they?
In the stage chat,
just
he's
gonna put
he's typing it in the stage chat. He's putting it in the
Alright.
stage chat.
So why can't you two just why did you
Why what? Why do we not give up on you? Because of what we do,
yeah,
dog.
why wouldn't you give up on me?
Because that's what we do, dude. I don't ever fucking
Because
quit,
you
dude.
know what you should do?
Yeah, quitters is for my ex-girlfriend, dude. Fuck that. All right, cool. Here, I'll put it here on the stream too, if you want to see it. So Ramton's asking some good questions. He's asking about what these what types of data these are.
Tried. I put the answer in.
Good. Yeah, this is an int. Very good. That's an int. Yeah, very good. Int.
So
Well-
why does he have 5.0?
Well. Actually, no. This is kind of weird. Wait. You put quotation marks around things, Rampton. Is this supposed to be a string?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh wow.
that's the trick.
Wow, you
So that's the trick, right?
See, he tricked me too. He tricked me.
And I put those intentionally, right?
Uh-huh. I like that.
In those quotation marks, right?
Yes.
So because they are in quotation ones, they are string, right? And then there's a third one, right? So that would be a double or a float, I guess.
Yeah, You're right about this
Right,
one.
the
This is
float the same thing.
Mhm.
I think Kiss Killer can tell me. It says the same as a float with bigger memory, so it can store bigger numbers with more precision. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
yeah. One's
'cause,
like 32-bit.
I-
One's
I
like
don't-
64-bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen double because that I think that might be a Java thing. Because like, if you can confirm that, because I haven't seen that in other types of. I don't know. Does that exist also in Python or JavaScript? I don't know if anyone knows.
what is
double.
JavaScript?
JavaScript is like Java, but it's used online on like web
It
applications and
exists in
websites.
C, C++, and Java. Okay, that makes sense because I don't know Java as much. I know JavaScript and Python more. I do want to learn Java though, because like that's like really useful. And like I don't know why I even learn a little bit of JavaScript because like Java is more backend, and like that's what I'm interested in.
So Ethan, you understand this one is a double or a float because it has a decimal, right? If things have a decimal, it's probably a double or a float, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we had just something like this, let's say just like a regular 5, what would that be?
It's just int.
Good.
It's just int.
That's an int. Yeah, very good, dude. That's an int. Okay. Whenever you have things with these quotation marks around them,
So a
this
string?
these are strings. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but if it was a single quotation mark like this, I believe this is a car. Is that correct?
Yeah. So
Okay,
I think for
well, we
that,
don't-
it needs to be letters.
Yeah, it needs to be letters. Sorry, I'm so yeah. I
If-
think
if numbers can go, but I think it may be able to. But again, because I'm not sure, I'm not gonna
I'm not the biggest.
do
Yeah.
anything. But I've never seen car or char in numbers.
I agree. Yeah, I think so.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, Kiss Killer says it can be.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not surprised because if you
Resident
can't have
coding
strings,
master.
of numbers, you would be able to have cards of numbers. But I think this is more of a tricky thing. Like, obviously, if anyone's writing code, nobody's ever gonna put
Right.
not nobody, no one's putting like numbers and stuff as often, unless that number needs to represent like something that is supposed to be like a string, right? Like, if it's in a calculation or something like that, it's not going to be a string. But sometimes you need to make sure that everything. So like this is the thing that I think when you're studying Java is a lot more important, because like you can mix different data types
Yeah.
in like Python, for example, right? So you can mix um, strings and integers, or strings and floats together, and it like takes it as a whole, and then it puts it outputs
As
like
a
string
massive
as a
object
whole.
or something. What do they call it? They call it trans something. Transmutating. What's it called? Oh man, I know this.
Transmutate?
No,
I-
there's
what-
a
I
there's a
think
term for
maybe-
this when you can convert one data type into another. Encapsulation, maybe, is that what it is? Kisco would tell me. Oh, I see. If you put anything, it loses meaning. It doesn't matter if it's a number or sign. It's something that stores text. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Casting. That's what I'm looking for. The word is casting.
Okay.
Typecasting. Okay. Yeah. Because, for instance, and this is an example, Ethan, of what's happening is Ramton's taking an integer, right? This 5, and by putting quotation marks around it, this is called typecasting. Because-
Colors. Okay.
Yeah. Because what he's doing is he's taking an integer and turning it into a string. Okay? Okay. In the same way, I think there are Java routines that can take strings, for instance, and I think there's something called like toInt or something, and that will put it back into an integer. Yeah, coercing. I love that it's called coercing. Dude, computer. Yeah, this coercing. What? It's like, hey 5, let me buy you a drink. Let's go to dinner. Like, I'll turn you into a string. Like, what? What's this coercing? It seems like something a feminist would say. Yeah, I know. I was teaching, what? This next generation is very interesting. Just a little side tangent. I was teaching 5 kids logic this afternoon. The person that hired me is my age, one of these back to school students. She's like 31, 32 or something. And, but all her classmates are like 19. They're all like very young kids and whatnot. And this is a logic class, which I guess tends to get a more eclectic crowd or something. Because we were there and whatnot, and I made some joke or something about woman or something, and then she's like, "I'm not a woman," and I was like, "Oh, okay." You definitely look like a woman, and like, but you don't look trans either. And she's like, and I was like, "Okay, so what is your gender?" And she said nothing, and I was like, "Oh, what? You have no gender? Okay, I guess that's a thing." But then all of them proceeded to tell me that they all did not have genders, and that even more so when I was asking what their name was, there was something called a dead name apparently, where like that's the name that's assigned to you. I call it the government name, but yeah, apparently they're like, yeah, no, we chose our own names and we reject our current names. They're our dead names. And I'm just like, what fucking fantasy land do all you guys live in? I'm really confused. Like, I'm okay with like self-expression.
I wouldn't say it like that.
I know.
It's just
That's I know. That's the
yeah,
the
it's
non-PC way to say it. But I'm like, is everyone just role playing all the time? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I think that's like a little bit. Yeah, I
get it.
think
Like, some
for
people
me,
are
it's
actually
also
trans, some
kind of
people are
become-
actually whatever and whatnot, but like all of them don't have their real names and they don't have any gender. I'm like, this is y'all. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a. I feel like it's definitely like one of the bigger things to socially deal with.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just so confused. I have
like,
nothing
I feel
against it.
like-
I don't hate it. I'm just confused.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is like if it takes a very long time for it to explain it, it typically means two things. Like that's the thing. It's like just because it doesn't make sense to someone. By the way, like I heard a lot of people tell like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. It's never been this way,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think that's like a valid way of like looking at it.
Sure.
Because and like there has been a lot of generations, like almost a lot of things that every generation do. There's definitely things in there that doesn't make sense to the previous generation.
Yeah, like eating Tide Pods.
Yeah, like I mean, obviously not things that are like dangerous to yourself. Like, I wouldn't say that doesn't make any sense to anyone. Shouldn't. But yeah, I think it's one thing is that, but I think the other thing is also like if the explanation takes too long, either it means it's not ingrained in our culture enough, but I think it also becomes hard. Like I've heard these things that, like, for example, people are like, oh, you can't like assume these things. You have to like ask, right?
Yeah.
And I say, well, to a certain degree, we make those assumptions. Like in our daily life, we are constantly in the process of making assumptions because we see some indicators and we make assumptions. And then if you're not able to like make any sort of assumptions, then it kind of makes it
You can't process reality at that point, right? Because
because
we make assumptions because we only have limited resources and time, and if I had to ask about every single thing that was happening, nothing would happen.
Yeah, and I think one of the bigger, like, I think that the thing that doesn't make sense to me is that even if this was or becomes ingrained in our society at a point, we still do not have enough indicators to make any assumptions.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that makes it difficult. It's not that it's just new, it's that it will always be vague. I think that's the kind of thing. Like, as you said, like something about like trans people, like I think for that one even makes sense to, once it's ingrained, it becomes easier to digest.
Yeah.
But like, as you said, like not having a gender, like we always want to, like, I guess, categorize things. And I don't know, maybe it is something that we are too old to. Hello.
What's up, Grim? Jesus, that was loud, dude.
That was loud, yeah.
How was that loud?
Grim, can you use your regular voice before I fucking mute you?
Oh, sorry, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry, yes, sir. How's life?
Good. We were just talking
I
about.
didn't have break today, so.
I'm glad,
I
dude.
just
I'm
joined
glad.
in.
Okay, good. Good to see you, dude. We were talking about your generation and how it's getting harder and harder
My
to.
generation is fucked. Like,
Dude,
we're
thank
going
you.
downhill. Like, we're gonna end up killing ourselves.
Dude, that's exactly what I said. I was like, yo, this generation is fucked.
Like, oh shit. Like, there's
I'm glad-
there's like a 10% chance of redemption. But like with how we're going, learning from like the people over here being all rude and shit, I don't think we're getting anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. High pitched Grim pre-Armageddon generation. Yeah, maybe. Oh,
On
man.
God.
On God, dude. Okay, good. Do you have any physics questions, Grim? Can I help you with physics, dude? I helped. I helped
tomorrow.
You don't have any things that are due or whatnot?
No, the only
I was just
Yeah, sorry, Ramton. Yeah, let me let Ramton wrap up his thoughts real quick.
that's fine. Like, I think that's something that we can maybe, like, at some point, if
Let's do for golden hour or something. Yeah, let's do golden hour, dude.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But I was gonna say something about Ethan, just quickly. Ethan, if you are someone who is probably way better than chess than both me and Gold. So if you ever if you ever doubt your own level of intelligence, don't. It's just a matter of understanding the concept, right? Because, like, you are probably smarter than us in something that we have had experience, and we probably don't know how to play chess as well as you do. So if you're confused about these like sort of like data types or coding and everything, because coding was like my dark horse also. Like, it's just it takes me a lot longer to learn coding than any other thing. But just like look up different videos. There's a lot of YouTube stuff that are good, and just take it like one step at a time. Like, it takes a little bit of while, but look up examples, because I think knowing a lot of examples for coding is great, because like there could be a lot of things that are tricky. But the biggest thing is understanding semantics. Like, what defines a string? Like fully understanding the definition, then you can't really fall for any of these little like tricks that they want to put like the number inside of like these quotations. Then you'll know that, at the moment I see it's inside a quotation, it's a string. Doesn't matter what's inside. So that's another thing. Like at some point, you would learn like maybe links or hyperlinks that can be put into, and sometimes you can like put those into like a quotation mark, and it just turns to be like a string as well. It's no longer a link.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does that help you out, Ethan, a little bit? Do you feel a little bit better for your test tomorrow?
Not at all.
Ethan, remember three things. Remember three things, Ethan.
Oh God.
Don't give a shit. Only, just do whatever you feel like at the time,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
have fun.
Have fun. Okay, I like to have fun. I'm a fan of that one at least. I think you should give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should.
I think you should definitely
Yeah,
give a
but
shit about things.
If you give a shit, you're gonna be too stressed on. If you don't give a shit, you're gonna be more calmed down. Like not, like I never said like don't do like the best you can. Like not giving a shit doesn't mean like that you won't like do the best you can. It just means that you won't stress yourself over something a little.
Yeah. Okay. Have you actually had to code anything? Well, that's a good question. Have you had to code anything, Ethan, yet? Have you had to code anything?
Yeah, we had done programming.
Oh, okay.
You know, my parents.
Whatever my brother said.
My brother. My parents coded something.
That's cool. That's super dope, dude.
Yeah, they coded me. Swear.
My God, you kids. Oh my God. All right. Ethan, for example, have you seen like this? Have you seen this is Java, for example? Do you see this? Maybe if we go through a little bit of this,
Yeah.
Ethan,
That's not,
like
it's
let me
the I.
yeah, let me explain this maybe line by line, and maybe this will help you out with like learning a little bit more Java. Okay?
I love Java Edition Minecraft.
Yeah, Java's great.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is called an online Java compiler IDE. IDE stands for Interactive Development Environment. Okay. All that is just a fancy word for that. You can type some stuff in here. You can hit run, and it will use Java to create an output. Like something will happen. Okay. All right. All Java programs start with what's called like a class definition. So here they say public class, my class. Okay. Do you know what these words mean? Do you know why this thing is called public?
Because it's showing that this one will be public, like the thing that you're coding it will be public.
Will be public, but when something is public within a coding language, it means that other parts of the code can access it. So the alternative to this would be private class, okay? But in general, usually we have things called public class. Public class just means that any other like bits of code could also interact with this thing, okay? Class
Ethan, I'm gonna give you homework.
give
You
him
should create a
homework.
bot for actual education.
That would be pretty advanced. Okay. Okay. Class is just referring to that it's a big document, it's a big structure type thing that like we're gonna work with. Don't worry too much about class. And then my class, this is just the name of my program per se. Okay, they're calling it my class. We could call this Ethan program. You want to call it Ethan program? Let's call it Ethan program.
Let's call it Ethan's Love Life program.
Ethan's Love Life program. Okay, fine, sure.
Yeah,
All right.
because Love Life is complicated.
It really is complicated. Okay. So then within the class, Ethan, you always need what is called a main function, okay? A function is something that does things. And usually functions take an input and then they give an output, okay? Does that make sense, Ethan? No? Ethan?
I guess so.
Okay, well, let me show you an example. It's the same thing in math. Remember in math we've dealt with functions, right? Like f of x. Remember this is a function?
What are functions?
I'm getting to it. Remember f of x is like remember this is a math function like f of x. Let's say f of x is equal to like 3x plus 2. Okay? And then let's say I ask what f of 4 is. Do you remember how to do this in math?
Yes, it's gonna be.
Well, I know you know.
14.
But yeah, let me ask Ethan. Ethan, do you know how to do this?
No, I don't.
Okay. F of 4 means that anywhere I see an x, I'm going to replace it with this 4. All right? So this ends up becoming 3 times 4 plus 2. Do you see how that happened?
Yeah, say that again? Like, I'm getting a little lost already.
Okay. Here's a function, f of x, right? And then this thing here in the parentheses, right, is x. And then if I ask you, for instance, what f of 4 is, that means wherever I see this x, right, I'm going to replace it with the 4.
Right.
So this then becomes, right, 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 2, which is 14. Right? Does that make sense? 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14.
We get that.
Okay, good. So then this is what happens, is that you say, okay, cool. So f of 4 is 14. This is very similar to what happens in programming, because what's happening here, this right here is called the function. This right here is called the input. That's what got put into the function. And then this right here is called the output.
Sometimes they call it an argument also, right?
Yeah. Input or argument, and then this is called output or return.
Alright.
Okay? So you see how I put something into the function and then I got something out of it, right?
Was I wrong? I always called it a product.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a product. That's chemistry.
Okay.
That's chemistry. It's okay.
Mr. Smith ruined my brain.
Yeah. So look, output, right? Input. Okay. The same things happen in Java, right? You can have a function where like you give it something and then it gives you something back. All right.
You have that.
Yes. So let's see. Where was my compiler? Okay. So this is an example of a function. So functions will always look something like this. Let's say it was like public int, and then let's say okay, let me define it in here. I could say so public, right? Because I want my function to be able to be accessed by other things. And then you have to tell it what type of data something returns. Okay. So let's say that this thing will return an integer. So I would say public int. And then I need to name my function. And so let's call this like Ethan adding function. Okay? And then I need to say what type of input it takes. Right? What's up, Shaq? So let's say this also takes an integer. Let's say this takes an integer, and we're gonna call it like integer number. Okay? That's the number, or let's say integer input number. Okay? Shaq, have you done coding before? Have you coded?
I've done like a little bit of coding, you know, like those little code.org, and it'd be like that type of shit. I remember at one point I completed every single one that was like
that's cool.
I know some coding, I don't know like too much, so like don't expect nothing from me.
Yeah.
I've been honestly like, yo, oh my god, bro, where's Ron at, bro? I need to see Ron ASAP, bro. I just pulled something that I don't think anyone could pull, bro. Like,
is this something with girls again? You guys pulling girls again or some shit?
Bro, I'm just adding onto a collection, bro. Like, that's just me at this point.
All right. Let me talk about your Riz after I finish talking code with Ethan real quick. Is that cool?
Yeah, do you.
Okay, I appreciate it. All right, Ethan. Okay, so yeah, and Kisskiller has a good explanation of this too. A function is basically a block of instructions you can call every time instead of having to rewrite everything. Right, good. It's basically let's rename this function as something easy. Let's say let's call this function add2, okay? Where all this function does is every time you pass it a number, it adds 2 to it. Okay?
All right.
So here I have int here. This tells me I'm going to return an integer. The name of the function is add2. And then the input for it is also an integer. This is where it's important. This is the data types that are coming in. You have to tell it what type of data it takes in and what type of data it spits out. In this case, we're gonna do everything just with integers. Okay. And then you need this bracket here. And then this is where you define what the function does, okay? And so what I'm going to say is I'm going to say, okay, let's create another new number, which I'm going to call integer result, right? And that is going to be equal to whatever this input number is plus 2, okay? This line right here, Ethan, yeah?
I already want to give up. This is too hard.
It's not too hard. You can do this, dude. This is not too hard. This is it's new to you. I know it's new to you, but it's not too hard. If you can beat me in chess, dude, you can do this.
I can't, okay? I can't. This is too much.
Okay, well then let me explain it slower to you. You'll get it. Don't worry. Don't worry, Ethan. All right.
So
Here.
You don't need to waste your time on me, okay? I'll try to figure it out myself.
No, I'm not wasting time. No, don't worry, because other people are watching this. Other people are watching this, and other people are learning. That's the point of this, right? It's. I'm not wasting my time because even if you get none of this, someone else will get this. It's okay. Let me go through slow. All right. We're creating. Okay, you know about variables, right? We've done variables, right, in math and stuff. This is where like coding is all math, dude. It's all math. Right, you know variables, right? Like 5 times x is equal to 10 or something, right? This is a variable, right? It's the same thing in programming. You just create variables, but we come up with we come up with like bigger names for them. So, let's say I wanted to define like a variable. We're going to call it result, right? And result is equal to like my input plus 2, okay? What this is doing is it's taking whatever I put in for the input. So let's say I put 5, for example. It's adding 2 to it, and it's storing it as a new variable. New variable. So this ends up being 7.
All right.
Do you see that? Okay. So, in this case, right? I'm creating a variable called result. I'm saying it's an integer because you have to tell it what type of information is going to be stored there. And I'm saying it's equal to whatever the input number is that I give plus 2. Okay? Does this line make sense? Like the result is equal to whatever I give it plus 2?
Alright.
Okay.
So.
And then the last thing I have to do with my function is I have to tell it to give the value back, right? Because when you call a function, when you try to work a function, you give it some information, it does some stuff, and then you get the result back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say return results. And I don't know if this is correct. I forget if there's a comma here. Is there a comma here? Is there a comma? It's a Java return. There's no comma? Okay, cool. Yeah. I know too many coding languages is the problem. They all like start blending with each other. Okay. Okay. So Ethan, this is kind of cool. We can now test this program, all right? So what's your favorite number? 60? Okay. So I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to call it Ethan's favorite number. And I'm going to set it equal to 60, okay? And then I'm going to create another thing called Ethan's second favorite number, okay? But I'm not going to get... I know. There's a joke to this, all right? Yeah. Ethan's second favorite number. And notice how I'm not going to have it equal anything. So this is like a placeholder. It's like a blank variable. It has no value to it, okay? But then what I'm going to say is that Ethan's second favorite number is equal to adding 2 to his favorite number. Okay? So what I did is now I'm saying, okay, Ethan's second favorite number, that's going to have a value in it. And the value is going to be what comes back from me adding 2 to it using this function I created. This function will add 2 to any number. And notice how I'm passing, like, the input that I'm giving to it is your favorite number, which was 60. And then the last thing we probably want to do is we want to print, like, what your favorite number is. So I'm going to say, here, I'm going to say, Ethan's second favorite number is, okay? This is a function that that puts text on the screen. So this is system.out.println. This is something you end up just memorizing. And then here, right, we put quotation marks like what we want the text to display. And then I put a plus here. And then I'm going to put the variable I want to display, which is Ethan's second favorite number. Okay?
So just remember the plus in here is so that when you are writing it out, like you want there to be like the expression, the sentence, Ethan's favorite number is, and then you want a number to disappear, right? So that plus puts that number right next to that sentence.
Oh yeah, I should put a space here. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what the plus does. Let's try to run this. So we're gonna hit execute here, Ethan. Execute it's gonna run this code and it's gonna do things. All right. So let's see what happens.
Oh, we might get an error. I think there's.
Yeah, it doesn't like it already. Fuck. Cannot be referenced from a static constant. What am I doing here? This has to be static. Sorry. I think we're good now.
That's the reason why I want to give up. It's just
here we go. Look! It just did it. Look, it said Ethan's favorite number is 62.
It's so wrong. That's so wrong.
No, Ethan's second favorite number is 62. See? This code works. This code works.
It doesn't even know my favorite number. Second favorite number, sorry.
Well, you said you don't have a second favorite number.
But then still, yeah, it doesn't know me. Okay, it doesn't know me. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I know. It's a computer program. Yeah, you can't really get much out of it. But I wanted to go through this, Ethan, so that you could see how code works. So you can maybe get a little bit more understanding. It's okay if you don't understand all of it. It's okay if you don't think you understand most of it. The important thing, Ethan, is to not quit and to be able to keep seeing, how we can do this. You're going to keep acquiring more and more knowledge the more you see something. You just have to keep at it. That's what it's about.
Honestly, I found this helpful. Like, I feel like the way you we should do some coding stuff.
Yeah, I know. With all the math stuff. Like this stuff.
On it. So, like, actually, one thing I had a question actually from you as well.
Sure. What's up?
So, in here, there's the public static void.
Yes.
And there's the public static int. I understand that part, but the public static void, what does that do?
So whenever you have a class by itself, the first program that will always be run is main. But a main function can't return anything, so that's why it's void. Static means that when this class is created, static means I don't need to create an instance of this class. Like this function exists for its own. Just because the class exists, it means that this function still exists. Whereas, for instance, if this wasn't static, then in order for me to call add2, I would first have to say, like, Ethan love life program blank, I don't know, blank equals new Ethan love life program. Like, I would have to create a variable, and then I would be able to call that. I would be able to call blank dot add2.
Okay.
But if something is static, you don't need an object to call that function.
Okay.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kiskilla. You probably know more. Again, I don't code for a living anymore, so.
Static functions are kind of functions that operate on the level of class, not object. So as Dr. said, it doesn't need an object. But wait, you guys haven't done object-oriented programming. Don't worry about it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of times you won't be creating classes, so everything's just static. But eventually, later, you start using it. Yeah, a little exercise for you. That's cool. I like that Hello World program. That's fun, Ethan. That's fun, Kiss Killer. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, all right. I think that's good. I gotta go teach kids and stuff more things, but hopefully, Ethan, good luck on your test tomorrow. If you get a copy of your test, Ethan, can you show it to me, please?
All right.
So I can see what type of things you're learning, and then I can help you. But I need to know what you're getting tested on, and like how your tests are going. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, everyone, for coming to Office Hours.
Nah, for real. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I had a good time learning with you guys, teaching all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah, we do whatever. If you found us again on Twitch or TikTok, join our Discord. I know a couple of you guys were able to do that. That's great. It's working. Our next stream will be Wednesday, an hour later. That's going to be 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Come on by with whatever you got. If you just want to hang out and learn, yeah, that's totally cool too. You know, Kiss Killer, if you got like some cool advanced math things you need help with, we have some very smart math people in this Discord. Like Ramton and Hypatia are very smart math people, and they can probably help you with the higher level stuff. I tend to teach more of the high school, middle school stuff, but high level stuff, we got experts for it. Yes, awesome. Okay. I might have time for one Fortnite game with you guys if you guys want to play. Ethan, did you want to play Fortnite? You want to play Fortnite? I can play one game. Play one game with you guys.
Honestly, I just don't feel right today.
Okay.
I'm just down.
Okay. Well, you know, sometimes it's good. You know, when I feel down and I'm not feeling like too great with life, it helps to take my mind off of it. And video games are a great way to do that. Video games take my mind off of everything. But so I understand if you don't want to, but I think it could be fun. You know, it'll put you in a better mood. You know, at least it's helpful. Cool. All right. Yeah. So if you want to keep hanging around, I will play some Fortnite with you guys for 20 more minutes on actual gaming. You can if you're in the Twitch, just hang around. It'll pull you in. If you're on Discord, we have another channel called Recess down below. It's a voice channel that you can join. You know, talk, have fun, whatever. Otherwise, yeah. Any other last words, Ramton? You good?
No, I think it's good. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Come to the Recess VC. I'll see you guys there. All right. Cool. Can I what?
Okay, I wanted to ask.
I'll drag you into the VC. I'll drag you. What's up, Ethan? Actually, I can't drag you from the stage. What's up?